This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Baltimore Orioles postcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. As always, I'm Luke Slabaugh. I'm your post-game show host. This is bonus content and a compliment to the main Locked On Orioles show that airs Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. Connor Newcomb's the man. I am subletting the apartment downstairs. Tonight, it's Tuesday, August 12th, and in fact, 9/12 on the East Coast. We're talking about a Baltimore Orioles loss at the hands of the Seattle Mariners, 1-0. 1-0. One of the more deflating losses of many that the Orioles have suffered this season. The Orioles fall to 13 games under 500 to a team in Seattle that has now won 8 games in a row, coming in having won 9 of their last 10. A little background. Things have changed dramatically for the M's since these teams met in Seattle in early June. The O's swept that series, by the way. A reinvigorated Adley Rutschman up at the plate and some really good hitting, clutch hitting by the O's back then. But a lot of turnover has happened, particularly in the outfield and in the rotation, so this is a clean slate for both teams. The Mariners are now pushing for the AL West crown. They're just a game behind the Houston Astros, and they added 2 huge pieces before the trade deadline, Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor. They pushed in all their chips to win this year, and good on them. Baseball in the Pacific Northwest dates back to the late 1800s. They've got a whole museum there at T-Mobile Park. It's a great stadium. It's a good culture, and they deserve it. That fan base has been waiting for a long time, as have we. Am I right? Got the right guy, manager Dan Wilson, former M's All-Star. The O's are trending in the complete opposite direction, and tonight with this 1-0 loss, they fall to 16-7 in one-run games. And for the first time in a while, we can't really pin this loss on the bullpen, right? Only 1 inning pitched from Rico Garcia, a returning Oriole, and in support of what is probably, actually what I know is, the best outing by right-hander Dean Kremer this season, and an argument for one of the best in his career, probably the second best in his 6-season Major League career. And that's what we got to lead with. Dean Kremer, having heated up, putting together a strong outing that deserved the win.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Longest outing in 3 years for Dean Kremer. He threw a complete game shutout against Houston back in September of 2022, right when the wheel was turning and the momentum was on the upswing for this franchise and this team. Young core coming together. No solid contact off of Dean regularly, except for the first hit of the game. The hardest hit ball of the game goes to Randy Arozarena. And going 8 innings for the second time in his young career, Dean Kremer shows that with proper method of getting warmed up in the season, we know that the wheels are just not attached. The spokes are falling out in April and late March. If the O's can find a way to combat that, they've got a great bottom of the rotation starter in Dean Kremer. Tonight, he pitched as advertised, the last salvageable piece in the Manny Machado trade. That first hit of the game is ultimately what doomed Dean Kremer in an otherwise spectacular outing.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Top of the first, right? Who knew that a first inning run would be so detrimental? The O's got several of them against the Athletics. In fact, back-to-back 3-run first innings and could not put it away. Credit to George Kirby and the M's, who we'll talk about in the second block, the O's shortcomings on offense. But if we talk about Dean Kremer right now, first pitch of the game, 93 four-seam fastball, grooved into Randy Arozarena. It's 93 miles an hour, sitting middle, and it's a single up the middle into center field. With 1 out, Arozarena, he's got plus speed. He swipes second base. And with 2 outs in the inning, first pitch to Josh Naylor, one of their trade deadline acquisitions. It's a fastball high out of the zone. Not a bad pitch by any stretch of the imagination. Naylor goes up and get it. The seasoned former Guardian got a lot of good experience in high leverage moments. Hits an RBI single up the middle. It's 1-0 with Arozarena scoring easily. The M's go 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Just that one hit against Dean, who fans Eugenio Suarez on a splitter to end the inning. Some really well fought at bats by Dean Kremer throughout this game. I think top three, going into a 3-2 count against Cal Raleigh. Big dumper, one of the front runners for American League MVP. No forcing fastballs in the sequence. On a 3-2 count, gets him to tap a splitter right in front of the plate. Dean's charging, but so is Adley Rutschman, who circles around that ball, picks it up on the bare hand, and throws out Raleigh. Kobe Mayo covering first base. An inning prior, some really good glove work by Kobe Mayo and this Orioles defense. Jorge Polanco leads off with a single through the left side on a sinker, and then with one out, J.P. Crawford at the plate gets a 3-2 splitter low, pounds it into the ground, hits sharply to Kobe Mayo, but right at him. He picks it out, gets inside the baseline, throws to Gunnar Henderson, who feeds to Dean Kremer, who's booking it over to first to cover on a 3-6-1 double play. And the O's manage this really well. Dean Kremer is efficient. He's getting good spin and good drop on that split finger fastball. A really good out pitch tonight. In fact, 14 whiffs for Kremer, which is more than George Kirby's 12. Kirby, the winning pitcher for the Ends. We go to the top of the eighth, 2 outs, and Kremer is bordering on his second career 8+ inning outing. J.P. Crawford singles to shallow left. It's the first hit since the 5th for Seattle. And credit to interim manager Tony Mansolino and his staff. They send out Drew French. Given the situation of the game, there are stakes, but having trailed at this point, it's 1-0. Even for a guy with experience like Dean Kremer, it's good to have the pitching coach go out, settle him down, talk through strategy, try to get Cole Young and get out of this inning unscathed. And that's one of the knocks that I've had, frankly, on Drew French and the crowd. And what I've confided in you all is that sometimes I wish the Orioles earlier this season had gotten out in front of these issues. Like not waiting until Cade Povich gave up a run, not waiting until Charlie Morton had collapsed, not waiting until Zach Eflin had given up how many deep flies before coming out and mitigating this disaster. And good on them. He gets Cole Young to fan on 3 pitches with the signature split finger fastball. Got him out. 14 whiffs for Kremer in the final line, 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, an earned run, 1 walk that does not come back and bite him, and 6 strikeouts. The ERA sits at 4.16, 101 pitches for Kremer, 67 of those for strikes, and he holds the big dumper Cal Raleigh, the home run hitting extraordinaire catcher, to 0 for 4. Pretty good for Kremer. Coming up, we're going to talk about the bat. We led with all the good, and after this ad break, we're going to talk about the Orioles offense. What is wrong? What is salvageable? Why is this happening? And a particular moment that really stood out to me and stood out to the Orioles radio broadcast on 98 Rock. I really like those guys. I'm going to share a little bit with you what all happened there. And that's coming up after this break. This is the Locked On Orioles postcast. Please stick with us. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, we got 3 ad copies today, 3 mid-rolls, and we're starting out with OpenPhone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. These days, especially with AI dialing, auto dialing, you can get on top of this stuff like never before. Having a reliable business line is imperative, and that's why OpenPhone is here to help you. It is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. The AI agent handles after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you'll never miss a customer again. All those marketing agencies out there, all those small businesses, listen up. Get OpenPhone. OpenPhone is offering Locked On Orioles listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/lockedonmlb. That's openphone.com/lockedonmlb. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Big time promotions tonight coming from FanDuel. We love FanDuel. They've been here since Jump Street. August 26th. It's not just a mixtape by Post Malone. It is FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is offering you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. Who's the NFC South division winner? Is it the team that calls back job candidates? I don't know. If it is, Carolina Panthers ain't winning it. Give it to the Buccaneers. Give it to the Saints. I don't care. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is one day. and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. We don't believe in ghosting people on this show. You know who we believe in not ghosting? You know who we believe in supporting every day? It's Gameday Hue. I've always got my Gameday Hue on lock, on ready. Gameday Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just clean gear. We have shown these dozens of times over the last fortnight, and we shall show them again. Modern fit, this black and orange outfit for our viewing audience, for our non-viewing audience, you just got to go to GameDayHue.com. Modern fit, a little bit curved, traditional fit, classic fit, black, white, kind of a longer bill. I love both of these. I wear these all the time. It is not just the hats for Gameday Hue. They've also got for the Happy Gilmores and all of us, Alex Jackson and company, this orange and white thing. It's really nifty. It's really beautiful. I like it a lot. Haven't actually gotten to wear it out yet. Haven't taken some swangs quite yet, but we will. Let your colors talk because colors speak louder than words. Right now, you can get 15% off with MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15. Thanks to Gameday Hue for sponsoring this show. For all of you sitting through 3 minutes of ad copy, David Owen in particular, I see you, David Owen, commenting live on the YouTube. Thanks for putting up with this. As I am wont to do, I will oftentimes put on the radio broadcast simultaneously with what I am watching on NASN. I like Jeff Arnold a lot. Jeff's a buddy. When I first moved to Annapolis a couple years ago, he was very supportive and reached out, and he is just a great guy. Just got married not too long ago, too. Really cool. And what I love about this iteration, I think Baltimore's done a great job with their broadcasters. I'm a student of that business, of course, and I think that they have both developed and lucked into across the board great talent there. They will not be needing for talent anytime soon. Between Brett, between Kevin, between Palmer, between Melanie, Rob Long, one of my absolute faves. I think they're stacked. They've got one of the best lineups. And bottom seven, I'm listening to Jeff Arnold's call on the radio, and I was surprised. And he's going to hate that I mentioned this, but I was so in awe and appreciative of the frustration coming through with the sequences that the Orioles hitters faced against right-hander George Kirby in a 5-pitch bottom of the seventh. And this is not a knock on George Kirby. He's highly touted, and when the Orioles faced him in June, he was just coming back from injury. It was his third start off the IL. He's 27 years old, and it was just getting into the swing of things. They made him work. It was a very deliberate and slow pace. And at this point in the game, after the first 2 outs are on 2 pitches, Jeff emphatically is going, you can't be doing that. Like, you got to make him work at this point. That's just not a good at bat. Maybe Gunnar saw something on the first pitch that he really liked. Maybe Adley saw something, but at this point in the game, just unacceptable. Now, this is a change of pace from what you would hear on an Orioles radio broadcast or a telecast back when the Angelos family owned the team, because it was very much about staying in line and, you know, not pushing the buttons too much. If you made an offhand comment about the Orioles record in Tampa Bay, you might be seeing some pine for a little bit. And it is true. The bottom of the seventh was kind of the microcosm of what the Orioles have looked like at the plate. Gunnar, first pitch, sinker, middle, low. It's a nice, juicy, tasty pitch. What does he do? He pounds it right into the ground. Hits it to Cole Young at second base, and it's an easy put out. Adley Rutschman as well. This time, not a great pitch. Sinker high and out of the zone. Swing decision coming like that. I mean, you've got a guy who's touching 98 miles an hour with this fastball. It's a lazy pop fly to J.P. Crawford at short. And Ryan Mountcastle, as he has been apt to do his first few games off the IL, he's done this a couple times already, strikes out on 3 pitches. Sinker, forcing fastball outside, swinging at those last 2. George Kirby was getting that outside call. He earned it over the course of the game. Kirby was great. Not enough damage by the Orioles. As we have made this joke several times, the Orioles have 5 hits, 1 for extra bases, and then, just like the dating scene in Annapolis, 4 singles scattered all over the place. Uninspiring singles, mind you. Probably at the F45 there. Only extra base hit comes bottom of the fourth, mind you, 2 outs. Gunnar Henderson in a good hitters count, 2-0. Not many of those against George Kirby. Hits it on a line to right center field, extends a single into a double. He's the only man in with runners in scoring position for the O's at that point. Adley then works the best at bat of the game, gets into a 3-2 count, and then he's fooled by that knuckle curve, bending down and in, strikes out to end the inning. What else you got for me? Dylan Carlson snaps an 0 for 35. Worked a couple of good at-bats today, saw more than 5 or 6 pitches. And ultimately, we could talk through the semantics all day. I've said this, it's very stubborn, but it's very much from the heart. If you're not working 10-pitch innings at a minimum in the big leagues, the effort just isn't there. Unless you have an immaculate inning situation where you are schooled on 3 pitches per at-bat, all strikes. I get it. But gone forever should be the era of 6 or 5 pitch innings. When you get one as a pitcher, you've gotten away with something. You've got the juice, you've got the momentum behind you. And that's really all the Orioles have done. Whenever they're on the precipice of getting something good or getting a runner in scoring position or starting a rally, they just mail it right back to them. Please, sir, would you like some more? That kind of stuff. I don't know. Ryan Noda had a single, took a sinker outside, hit it to center field. Dylan Carlson then got worked away the whole time. He strikes out, so there's 2 outs in the inning. Left-hander Gabe Spire is in. Jeremiah Jackson up at the plate, pinch hitting. Righty against lefty. He hits the first pitch on the screws, but right at Julio Rodriguez. 101 off the bat. It's a nice line drive. But again, we got into this with Ryan O'Hearn all the time. You're pinch hitting. Hit. Find the pitch. Like let's be methodical about this. Let's see some deliberation here. The last thing, I mean, the O's did have a good stand in the bottom of the ninth, relatively speaking. With 2 outs, Gunnar Henderson walks on 4 pitches. Closer Andres Munoz, the right-hander, appeared to be either having some cramping issues or perhaps a blood sugar spike, as Jim Palmer referenced on the broadcast. He threw out that possibility because after he walks Gunnar, everything's missing low and away. And the trainer comes out and dude just starts chugging water, like multiple small green Gatorade cups of water. And it starts getting booed on the mound because this is taking like forever. David Owen with the last comment here says, if Luke Slabaugh keeps covering the Baltimore Orioles, his hair will turn white. Like Sidney Sweeney, I have decent genes that might avoid that. Adley Rutschman then singles, gets a pitch out over the plate, sinker that he likes, hits it to left. Gunnar moves to second as their second man in scoring position for the day. Ryan Mountcastle then comes out of his boots swinging at the first pitch. He misses, and then a slider running in on him. He hits the daylights out of it. Well foul. In fact, just to the left of the foul pole, but off the bat, originally the angle looked like you might have had something there. If Mountcastle had given this team its first walk-off hit in 327 days, that would have been magic. But nope, grounds out to J.P. Crawford at shortstop, slowly giving into that sinker, that 97, to end the game. I mentioned real quick that the O's are on the precipice of making history, and if Dylan Beavers and Samuel Basayo end up coming up, the O's will actually make history. Rock Cabato, Masson Sports, incredibly smart man. Mentioned that Daniel Johnson, who pinch ran for Noda in the 8th, was the 59th player used by the Orioles. And then Rico Garcia, Que Rico, coming in the 9th. Those are the 59th and 60th players used by the Orioles on their major league roster this year. The club record set in 2021 is 62. So imagine who is getting that 63rd call-up. We got Beavers, we got Basayo, probably some waiver wire guy in September, perhaps, or end of August. Who's to say? Jeff Molnar brings us home here. We're hitting 20 minutes, and that's a big no-no here. Exactly the number one change that has to occur for the O's is offense and the inconsistency. Every team they face takes long at bats. The approach is just wrong. You want to hear my 2 cents on this? This is going to be a hot take. But in order for this team to reach such great heights that we all want, one of the core infielders or one of the core number 1 draft picks, it's probably got to go. Because we are seeing, I think with the exception of Adley Rutschman and at times Gunnar Henderson, the resistance to deep ball counts. Jackson Holliday should not be leading off. And while Colton Cowser would probably be your 1B there, he has not been able to recognize off speed since the All-Star break. He's currently hurt, and he is downward spiraling. Probably not going to get a lot for Colton Cowser on the trade market, and he was off limits at the trade deadline per Masson. But the approach is too homogenous. This is a league that does not favor 3 true outcome hitters anymore. They have gone by the wayside. You're not going to win with a huge K rate. Look at Aaron Judge now. He's approached his approach at the plate. Bobby Witt. In order for this team to maximize its potential on offense, one of those guys, Cowser, Holliday, Henderson, Rutschman, Westberg. That's my hot take. I know you don't listen to this for that. I know they want a whole lot more of that. This is what it looks like for 2026. You're asking, how can you get better? You got to get someone who can hit per contact. What does that look like? Luis Arraez. I don't know who else is on the free agent market. And obviously pitching. But pitching wasn't the issue tonight. We have gone way too far. The O's are chasing bad history, approaching their 62nd man brought up. Tomorrow, 6:35 first pitch on Masson, left-hander Trevor Rogers against right-hander Logan Gilbert. Neither of these guys pitched in the June series in Seattle. Trevor Rogers, of course, Ben Nails, 5-2, pitching to a 1.44 ERA. Gilbert, 3-4, 3.35 ERA. That'll do it for us here on the Orioles Postcast. The final score tonight, the Seattle Mariners 1, the Baltimore Orioles 0. Good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow night.